You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-Mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, 8th day of September, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds. That will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. It also gives you access to the chat box so that you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Now, on the days you're out of the office away from your desktop, not to worry, just point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live. There you'll find a live, real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds. You just won't have access to the chat box. We also stream live each day on our YouTube channel, which is easy to remember, youtube.com/CFRN. That's it. youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live each and every day, we archive each and every daily show. Currently, we have over 1,800 daily live broadcasts archived there for your viewing and educational pleasure. Let's open with a word of prayer. Oh, and by the way, Garrett's going to join us for a few minutes here later in the show. But first, a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your blessings, for your mercy, for your grace in our lives. You've been so good to each and every one of us. People around the world right now are in turmoil, whether it's from the ravages of nature or the evil hearts of men. Father, we pray that your presence would be amidst those people by the power of your Holy Spirit. We know that violence is never the answer. It destroys your good creation. It grieves your heart when people resort to it. Despite the world knowing who you are, they do not know the peace that you can give them. God, I ask that you arise and put an end to all violence, extinguish pain and misery wherever it is found, and spread your gift of grace and peace upon the face of your creation. Let forgiveness reign and end the bloodshed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope it's a happy Wednesday for you, wherever you are. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. These are the cash markets, the indices as they're called. Starting here at home, the Dow is down 97 points. The NASDAQ is down 133 points, which is almost 1%. S&P 500 is down 14. The Russell 2000 is down 29 points, which is 1.25%. In the commodity basket, crude oil up 94 cents, trading 69.29 last. That's a gain of 1.25%. Gold down $4.60, trading 17.93.90 last. Silver down 34 cents, trading 24.02 last. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 265 points, almost 1%. Shanghai fell a point and a half. The Hang Seng dropped 32 points. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE down 53, the DAX down 232, which is 1.5%, and the CAC down 57, which is almost 1%. That gives us a mixed day in Asia. It was a red day for the UK, and so far it's a big red Radio Wednesday here in the US of A. With that, we'll go to Michael and get a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room. After that, I'll come back. We'll look at the logic alerts, the concierge, trade alerts. We'll have a short chat with Garrett. And of course, at any point during the broadcast, if you have questions, just type them into the chat box. Michael and I, or Valerie, one of us, we will be happy to answer your questions. All right, I can see your screen.
All right.
I can see your charts. It's all yours.
Right. Here we go. Thank you. Here we go. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 8th day of September, 2021. I got a long going on right here on the ES going right up into the weekly trading zone. I'm sorry, I just noticed it on the side. There was one over here on gold. Anyway, if you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go here to eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all that we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link, okay? If you don't click that link, we don't know that you took the free trial, so you have to click on that link. All right? All right. Recaps. Now, that is all the way up at the top. So you go down to the bottom. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, as I said, is the 8th day of September 2021. Today we lost 12 ticks in crude, made 53 in gold, and we're break even on the ES. That put us at plus $410 a contract this morning. Today it took 10 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we were up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 29 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $2,420. That's over 5 trading days, averaging $484 per contract per 2-hour trading day. On the year, we've gotten our goal on 171 out of 173 possible days. That puts us at $102,422 per contract. So over 173 trading days, averaging $592 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Now, if you'd have stopped every time you got your goal so far this year and gotten it exactly as I had, and you added 1 contract per month, now you'd be at 9 contracts, all right? So this morning it took 10 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, if you had 9 contracts on, you would have been up $900 a contract, or $900 total. You'd be up $100 a contract, $900 total, and you would have had to pay commission on 18 round turns. Okay, so you guys can do the math on that. I'm pretty sure. Even with a pretty rough commission of $8 round turn, it would be about, I don't know, $140 per contract in commissions, $900 in gross, so $760 net in 10 minutes. Not too bad. Anyway, if you had done that and worked 47.5 hours so far this year doing so, you would have been averaged about $2,384 per hour. Okay, per hour, not per 10 minutes, per hour. All right, so let's get into the trades. I'll do the ES first. Okay, most of our trades were on gold, but I'll do the ES. We did have a couple of trades on the ES, and a couple that we missed. So let's go back here. We started out with a break even right here. All right, that was a close above the trend line. It wasn't off the BBC because the cycle was the wrong color. It was a close above the trend line. We took the trade right in here with the break even. That ended up moving up where we wanted it to go. We had identified a couple of spots up here that it didn't hit until way over here. We jumped on this trade right here, which was another close above the trend line, looking for it to get up there, and it stopped us out, -8 ticks. We got onto this one right here, ended up with a break even. It did give 6 ticks, I think, in profit, but we ended up with a break even. I missed this one. Josh pointed out to me after the fact. That went right up to the weekly trading zone, and it hit both of those levels. We took this one on rebound off the zone. It looked like it was going to be moving down, doing a head and shoulder pattern, shoulder, shoulder, and it did eventually go down, but we ended up with a break even over here. Missed a trade there, missed a trade there. Then it made some nice moves down right here, and I missed both of those right at 10:30. We picked up 8 more ticks over here, 8 ticks to get us back to break even on the ES. This was the level I thought it was going to get to. It tapped it, pulled back, went down again. Then in here, I was looking for a trend, and I had to explain in here why this, I was looking for it to break up above this level before I wanted to go long. So what I was showing here was why I didn't go long right here, because I was looking for it to break up above this level. And it finally did. It went right up to the zone, came back down, and gave a short right here that I missed. Then it just consolidated for the rest of the morning session. It came out of that consolidation during the break, gave a short right in here. And it looks like, drew the trend. Yeah, it didn't give anything through there. And that was pretty much it. That was the ES today. Now crude oil. Yeah, we had a few stop outs right in a row on crude. I'll get right into that here. This right here we had, was it right here or was it another spot? I think it was gold that I had actually drawn it, but you can see it right here. I mean, it's easy to see after the fact, but this was the leg length right here. And you see that carried over to right there. And again, to right there. And we took a break even on that one, a break even on that one. We didn't get into this one because the cycle was going up too steep, but it did meet the leg length, and then it reversed off of that. It actually gave a little bit of a long right here. I'm thinking I didn't get into that because I didn't think that we had enough of a trend going here. But this right here was actually a pretty good opportunity, and it would have given me a break even had I done it. But we picked up one tick here, it looks like, after all those break evens and the stop outs. Let's see, did we pick up a tick there? No, we didn't. We went from, oh, we did actually. Wait, this is crude oil. Yeah, we picked up 2 ticks there. Okay, so we're at +2 right there. Then we picked up 10 ticks here and we went to +12. Okay, then we stopped out and we went to +4. We stopped out again in the opposite direction, went to -4, and we missed a trade right here that I wish I would have gotten. It didn't give you anything through there. And we stopped out again right here. This was pretty much to the tick, and that put us at -12. And then it got really choppy through here. And that was where we ended trading with crude oil for the morning session. There was this one trade here right at the end that I had highlighted while I was doing the spreadsheet at the end, and that worked out to be a pretty good trade. I was saying it should get up to there and then there. It almost got to the first one, but it didn't keep going in that direction. So that was crude. Crude was kind of difficult today. We ended up with -12 on crude. Now I went for a little bit of a different look here. You see I got rid of the red and I have hollow bars where you would normally have red to show the negative or the down closes. I mean, it makes it easier to see all the other colors, I was thinking. And I have this is how I have it going on the side outside the room. All right, so with the gold, we started out right here. The markets opened up, it made a move down. We didn't have anything in the move down right there. Had another short right here that I missed right at the open. This would have been a close down below the trend line right there. Then I had another one right here. This is where we actually got the goal for the day. We had that one. Actually, in the spreadsheet, I got to fix it. We were up 120 when we got the goal for the day today. We had this move right here. We picked up 10 ticks on. Actually, no, it's still correct. We were up 100. I'm sorry, because our first trade on crude was a break even. And then we got this one for +10. We didn't follow up right here because we hadn't broken this dynamic support yet. Okay, there was a nice trade right here that I missed. Then it gave this huge move down with no trade setup whatsoever. Got kind of sideways after that, and we had a break-even trade right in there. Missed a long trade here that would have been nice to get. It looks like it was followed up by another one right here. We got a break-even there and a break-even there. Missed a trade there that would have stopped you out. Got a break-even on that one. Then at this point, I believe we were at +11. So we got the +10, and somewhere in here we got one tick on one of these trades that I said was break even. We got that +10, and one of these gave us one tick somewhere in here. Probably this one gave us one tick. We're at +11. Then we got 8 ticks to put us at +19. Then 6 ticks to put us at +25. Then 9 ticks to put us at +34. Then a break even. Then 8 ticks to put us at +42. Then we have a stop out come in here. Yep, a stop out put us back down to 34. Then a +10 to put us to 44. A break even. A break even. A break even. It looks like right here there was another opportunity, but it was going to the levels that we had drawn in, which was pretty good. We went from 44 to 53, so we picked up 9 ticks right here, and we had one more break even. Then it went, during the break, it went pretty much flat here. Seeing maybe a short right in here. And that was about it. Okay. And that was gold today. So gold was really active. We had a bunch of trades in gold. Let me bring the spreadsheet back up. Here it is. All right. So if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 8th day of September 2021. We lost 12 in crude, made 53 in gold, and we're break even on the ES. So today it took 10 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 29 trades. So on the month now, we're up $2,420 a contract. That's over 5 trading days, averaging $484 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Got our goal for the day on 171 out of 173 possible days. That puts us at $102,422 on the year. That's over 173 trading days, averaging $592 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Okay. If you were to stop when you got the goal for the day and you did it exactly as I did so far this year and added 1 contract per month, you'd have worked a total of 47.5 hours, and your hourly rate would have averaged out at this point to $2,384 per hour. Okay. That is per hour. That's not per contract per hour. That's per hour total. All right. Now, if you've not taken the free trial and you want to, then go here to eminitrainingschool.com. All we ask for is your first name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us to speak a training channel so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link, okay? If you don't click the link, we don't know that you took the free trial, so you gotta make sure you go there and click that link, all right? All right, guys, and that's it. With that, we can pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready. Okay, maybe Dwayne's not ready yet. All right, well, while we wait for Dwayne to get ready. Oh, okay, he is ready. Oh.
Let me just grab the recap of the recap.
Today it took 10 minutes and 2 trades to get to $100 per contract.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, as always. On Logic 247, that's our around-the-clock 24/7 Emini Alert service, which includes crude, gold, silver, every now and then some other market currency or something, but not so much. Mostly the E-minis, crude, gold, and silver. Now, the Logic Alert channel opens for business Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. It remains open around the clock till Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's when the global markets close. So since the market opened this week, we have issued a total of 39 alerts. 5 never triggered. We're still waiting on the results of 5. So we've had 29 actionable alerts, of which 3 would have been stopped down, or 10%, based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based on market structure and a very simple 3-step methodology that we teach all of our traders. So we'll go to the charts here in just a second. I got a couple of headlines I'll share with you. Garrett will be joining us in about 35-40 minutes. The Taliban has named the new Afghan government. The new Afghan government that includes Islamist stalwarts and puts a U.S. designated terrorist in control of internal security. The announcement came days before the 20th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack, which prompted the U.S.-led invasion that drove the Taliban out of power. Also on Tuesday, yesterday, Afghan protesters staged their largest demonstration to date since the Taliban took over Afghanistan last month. The Taliban responded to the march through Kabul by shooting in the air in an attempt to disperse the crowd, which witnesses estimated at between 300 and 500 people. Some protesters reportedly were beaten or detained. The activists chanted support for resistance fighters, continuing to challenge Taliban rule in Panjshir. Just remember, guys, there's still people on the ground in Afghanistan fighting for their freedom. Not everyone threw down their weapons and ran. Mexico's Supreme Court yesterday ruled that a law in northern Coahuila state that imposed prison terms for women undergoing illegal abortions was unconstitutional. The decision decriminalized abortion and paved the way for its possible legalization in a country with one of the world's biggest Catholic populations. So we win one in Texas, and then the enemy strikes in Mexico. But that's just what he's been doing since the beginning of time. President Biden on Tuesday toured parts of New York and New Jersey devastated by flooding from the remnants of Hurricane Ida, warning of a code red moment on climate change. The nation and the world are in peril, he said. Biden used the trip, his second related to Ida, to urge Congress to take action to fight climate change. He referenced a Washington Post report finding that nearly a third of Americans live in counties hit by weather disasters in the last 3 months. I don't know if you watched that speech yesterday, but it was the most awkward thing. It was hard to even watch. My heart goes out to him. The people who chose to drag him out in front of the public the way they've done and make him a puppet president, it's just shameful. Shame on them. I really feel sorry for him. Half the time, I don't even think he knows where. Obviously, sometimes he doesn't know where he is because he says he doesn't know where he is. He goes, or he says the wrong name of where he is. So, Joe, our prayers are with you. We may not agree with you, but we pray for you. He said in the speech, folks, the evidence is clear. Climate change poses an existential threat to our lives, to our economy. It's not going to get any better. The question is, can it get worse? We can stop it from getting worse. Now, that's the transcript of what he said, but you need to actually see what he said and how he said it. And your heart will just be sad. He didn't exactly get it right. The White House on Tuesday asked Congress to add money for disaster relief and Afghan refugee settlement into a deal to prevent a partial government shutdown later this month. So, picture this. The Taliban runs us out of Afghanistan, and as a result, our government may shut down. What kind of upside down world is this in which we're living? This is really happening. Oh, and another article that I'm not going to read, but it says the single largest destination for the refugees is, you guessed it, Arizona. I may have already mentioned that on the show before. I suppose our climate could be in some ways like theirs. So life for those of us here in Arizona is certainly going to change. Now, in the Phoenix area, I don't know what percentage of the population is Hispanic, but we've peacefully coexisted for quite a number of years. If you go south of Van Buren, a lot of the signs are in Spanish. The hoods, as they call them, you've got South Phoenix, you've got Central Phoenix, which is kind of middle class. You've got South Phoenix, which is mainly Hispanic, and a lot of Hispanic people who've been, they're second, third generation Americans, but still not legal. I guess legal if they were born here. And then as you go to North Phoenix, that's where you get into the real luxury homes and the highfalutin folks. Powerful 7.0 magnitude earthquake shook a southwestern Mexico city, Acapulco, Tuesday night, killing at least one person, a man who was struck by a falling electric pole. The quake sent chunks of concrete falling to the ground at some of the resort city's hotels. It was strong enough to be felt in Mexico City, more than 230 miles away. People fled buildings there and sought safety in the streets. About 1.6 million people lost electricity. Well, I don't know if you've ever been to Mexico, but on any given day, you can expect to lose electricity. So, however, this is a different situation. California's wildfire season on pace with last year's record. A former Trump advisor was detained by authorities in Brazil and questioned for 3 hours. Local reports in Brazil suggested Jason Miller, who formerly served as an advisor to Trump and founded the social media platform Getter, which is spelled Gettr, was questioned as part of an investigation into anti-democratic acts in the country. Miller said in a statement that the 3-hour interview occurred at the Brasilia airport after he attended the Conservative Political Action Conference in Brazil. We were not accused of any wrongdoing and told only that they wanted to talk. We informed them we had nothing to say, and eventually we were released and allowed to fly back home. Hong Kong activists who organized Tiananmen Vigil were arrested. No surprise. Hong Kong police on Wednesday arrested several members of a group that organized vigils for the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square crackdown. According to leaders of the group, the Hong Kong Alliance in support of patriotic democratic movements in China. Wow, they should come up with an acronym. That's a long name. The arrest came after the activists refused to hand over information authorities demanded for an investigation into allegations that the group was colluding with foreign powers in violation of Hong Kong's national security law. Texas governor signs voting restrictions into law. The legislation bans 24-hour and drive-through voting. It also imposes new limits on mail-in ballots and boosts access for partisan poll watchers. Texas joined a growing list of Republican-controlled states that have tightened voting rules in response to former President Donald Trump's claims of 2020 voting fraud. And Britney Spears' father, the conservator of the singer's estate, filed a petition Tuesday seeking to end the court-ordered 13-year conservatorship. The move came after Britney Spears, in a July hearing, called the arrangement effing cruelty and said she wanted charges against her father, Jamie Spears, for conservatorship abuse. And in the tech world, today we get the opening arguments in Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes' trial that begins today. Holmes' lawyer may try to show she truly believed in her blood testing technology. If you haven't been following this, you're going to hear a lot about it over the coming days. Facebook says it does not read WhatsApp messages, but an investigation found it actually does. A ProPublica investigation found that Facebook employs more than 1,000 workers to sift through content sent in by WhatsApp users. So if you use WhatsApp, watch out. Amazon wants to bring in-person medical care to 20 more U.S. cities. How do I keep writing these headlines before they happen? Well, all you got to do is think about it. Through its new primary care business, Amazon Care, the company plans to bring telehealth and in-home care to Philadelphia, Chicago, Dallas, and Boston this year, and 16 other cities in 2022. Been saying for a while, when you go to the doctor, you're going to go to the Amazon medical clinic. When you go to get gas, you're going to go to the Amazon gas station, and so forth and so on. Apple's big iPhone 13 reveal event is expected on September 14th. In an event Apple has dubbed California Streaming, which is a take on the song California Dreaming. Company is expected to unveil its latest iPhones as well as updates to the Apple Watch and the iPad. Mercedes-Benz just offered a glimpse of its new electric G-Wagon, which will go into production in 2024. The all-electric EQG puts a green spin on Mercedes' classic status symbol. Viral photos show a sprawling Amazon warehouse in Mexico surrounded by deteriorating homes. As Amazon continues to expand its footprint internationally, photos of a massive new fulfillment center in Tijuana have been shared widely across social media. I don't know if I can get past the paywall. Some days I can, some days I can't. Looks like today I can. If you've ever been to Tijuana, this is how many of the people in Tijuana live. And the hillsides are dotted with, sometimes in many cases, just literally homes made of cardboard. However, this fulfillment center should bring jobs, which will help the economy and change the face of Tijuana. And Google just radically changed how it pays employees in stock. The change will allow employees to cash in on their equities sooner, a move that may help lure talent from rivals like Apple and Facebook. And finally, Instacart had a summer filled with unsuccessful deal making with Uber and DoorDash. Earlier this summer, Instacart reached out to Uber and DoorDash to try to initiate a merger, but both companies ultimately passed. Instacart, the one who did not get asked to dance at the prom. All right, let's do the markets. Here's the S&P 500 E-mini futures. We talked yesterday. I've already refreshed the chart. This is the daily chart. This is the all-time historic intraday high, the all-time historic closing high. We've now had 2 red days so far, back to back. We talked about hitting that 24% fib should give us a very nice bounce. Now, it looks like we spiked it and almost made it to the daily BBC. Now, that 24% fib is at roughly 45.01. So if we jump over to the 30-minute chart, this is where we hit 45.01 right here. And then we bounced. Remember, we said that that 24% fib should give us a very nice bounce. It bounced us from 45.01 all the way up to 45.21. So a 20-point bounce at $50 a point, that's $1,000 per contract traded. I would call that a very nice bounce. And then the bounce ran out of steam, and now we've traded as low as 44.92. Always remember, and I really hammered on this yesterday. I said, when price gets to this 24% fib, you should expect a very nice bounce. Now, on a daily chart, you can't really see the bounce off 45.01. You have to go to the 30-minute chart. Go to 45.01 right here, and there's your bounce. A 20-point bounce. So we went from zone up to the zone, made it almost back down to the zone, right there, and then back up to the zone. So we went from zone to zone to zone to zone to zone. So the zone is 45.05/45.06, and the low of this candle is 45.07. So we missed the zone by 1 point. So zone to zone to zone to zone to zone to zone. If there's ever been a good reason or a good way of showing you the importance of putting the weekly trading zones on your chart as soon as they come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, that's got to be it. So from the daily perspective, what do we expect now? Well, as long as this candle stays red, we anticipate lower prices. We'll most likely revisit the 24% fib of the last leg up. See, the reason we got such a big bounce is because the world is watching the daily chart. You and I, we watch 30-minute charts and 5-minute charts and range charts, but the institutions, the hedge funds, the big boys, the deep pockets, those guys, they watch daily and weekly and monthly charts. So when a fib is hit on a daily chart, you should always expect a significant reaction. Now, if price comes through the fib again, now remember, we came down, we had a 20-point bounce, and we've already come back down a second time through this fib. Okay, we came down to the fib, we bounced 20 points, then we came back down, now we bounced again, and the daily BBC is at 44.86. If price gets here, we expect another nice bounce. And when price ultimately, if it does ultimately, now this when we hit the BBC, that may be the beginning of the next leg up. If it turns out not to be the beginning of the next leg up, then the next area for major support will be here at the 38, and then the 50, and then the 62. This 38% fib, we've got a couple of daily lows across here, so that should be a nice bounce as well. But keep in mind that if we touch the BBC, the daily BBC, that just might be the beginning of the, here's the last leg up. This could be the beginning of the next leg up, or, as I said the other day, this might just be the high for a while. All right, along with our logic alerts, as you know, we also still have our Concierge trade alerts. Now, the logic alerts are based on current price action. The Concierge alerts are based on historic price action. The logic alerts come out around the clock as opportunity presents itself. But the Concierge alerts, they come out as a static report shortly after the Globex open every evening. Last night, the alerts came out 10 minutes after the Wednesday session opened Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And the way you handle it is you draw a line in the sand at 45.29, draw a line in the sand at 45.10. This vertical line that you see on the chart, that separates Tuesday from Wednesday. And so there was no trigger on the long side last night after the open. Price pulled up to the BBC, which we expect to be good resistance. We consolidated at the weekly trading zone. Only three things happen at a weekly trading zone. The most likely is consolidation. That's what we got. And then down we came, triggered at 45.10, hit the weekly trading zone, which was the target at 45.06. That's 4 points at $50 a point. That's $200 per contract traded. Once you've earned the right to trade 2 contracts, then it becomes $400 per contract traded. And once you've earned the right to trade 5 contracts, that same move is worth $1,000. Now, once an alert triggers, there's a high probability that it's going to trigger multiple times. So we triggered once, we triggered twice. On the second trigger, the swing low was 45.07, so that was just 3 points, or $150 per contract traded. And then we triggered a third time, and that took us to the target and then some. And now we pull back up to the BBC, which we expect to be good resistance when we approach from below, and it was. We triggered a fourth time. Had 1 trigger, 2 trigger, 3 trigger, 4 trigger. And the swing low so far is 45.06. So that's another 4 points. $200 per contract traded, $150 per contract traded, $200 per contract traded, and again $200 per contract traded. If your daily goal is $100 per contract, well, there you go. You had 4 opportunities to take advantage of that. 1 alert, 4 trading opportunities. Okay. Let me see if Garrett's here. I don't want to leave him hanging. All right, he'll be along shortly. Okay. Moving on to the Dow. No trigger on the long side, but on the short side. 35,025. And on this first trigger, we dropped to a swing low of 885. So that would be 25, 35, 40 points, $5 a point, $200 per contract traded. And we got back above the trigger, but we've got blue and climbing in the way, and that's not conducive to a short trade. So you would probably not want to take advantage of that trigger. Not all triggers are created equal. As we turn to red and falling, we get a nice trigger that drops right down into this same area, and then price gets back above the trigger, and so far has dropped to 969. We'll call it 25 points, $5 a point, $125 per contract traded. So 1, 2, 3 tradable moves. 1 you would probably not trade because of blue and climbing. Off 1 alert. If you're looking for $100 per contract per day, you got it. You could have got it on the S&P. Could have got it on the Dow. Let's go to the Russell. Okay. So we opened last night. We pull up to the BBC. We consolidate at the weekly trading zone. And then we drop from zone to zone. 2272 was the CTA short. From 2272 to 2262 is 10 points. Price gets back above the trigger, does it again, but not all triggers created equal. You would have probably wanted to wait for price to get below blue and climbing and take out that low, and then you could still grab a little piece of it. And then here, price reaches up to the BBC, but it can't quite get above the trigger. But price has dropped all the way down to a swing low so far of 22.38. So from 72 to 38, that would be 34 points at $20 a point. No, I'm sorry. $72 minus, come on, 72 minus 38. It's 34 points at $50 a point. $1,700 per contract traded. That's what this move was worth. But again, with blue and climbing in the picture, you probably wanted to wait. I mean, you might have even waited to take out this low. That still gives you a trade from 22.54 down to 22.38 in one 30-minute candle. What's price trying to do now? It's trying to work its way back up to the BBC. Price always reverts to the mean. In our case, the mean just happens to be green. It's called the BBC. When price is below it, we're bearish. We anticipate lower prices. When price is above it, we're bullish and anticipate higher prices. And the pullback to the BBC holds more often than it doesn't. So we'll be watching this to rally up to the zone. We expect the zone to be resistance. When price is coming down, it's support. When price moves up, it's resistance. And then as price moves down, support, support, until eventually it gives way. And the next weekly trading zone below us is the lowest weekly zone for the week, down at 2222/2223. So as price pulls up and we find good resistance here, we'll be looking for another leg to the downside. Okay, NQ. The NQ was 1563. That was the short CTA number. The target, of course, is the weekly zone below. On all alerts, logic or concierge, the final trade to target on a short is the zone below, on a long is the zone above. And so from 53 to 28, 53, it's 25 points at $20 a point, $500 per contract traded. Price then gets back above the trigger. You got some blue and climbing there, but we get below blue and climbing, we get below the BBC. You may have taken this one, you may have not. If you didn't take this one, then you very well might have taken this one. So we had one trigger, two trigger, three triggers. This one, you probably waited for price to show you it was serious before you got in, because you got this blue and sideways in the mix. And then we traveled from zone down to the next zone, consolidated. This is wide-ranging consolidation. Only three things happen at a zone, consolidation being the most likely. So we've got a red candle, so we may not make that pullback to the BBC. We may just end up heading down. See how the step line right now is acting as support. If we get below support, then we most likely head for the zone. If buyers come in and are committed, that could push us up to the BBC, which we would expect to be good resistance, and which would give us a leg to the downside. All right, so we've covered the indices: S&P, Dow, Russell, NQ. Crude oil. The long CTA trigger last night on crude oil was 68.60. We consolidated a little bit at the weekly zone. We actually triggered and put in a swing high at 68.68. So that's $80 per contract traded, followed by $60 per contract traded, $80 per contract traded, and then the market offers us $290 per contract traded. And then we get back below the trigger again, and that's $220 per contract traded, and then back below the trigger. And this trigger takes us all the way to the target, from 68.60 to 69.50. Well, from 68.60 to 69.60. That's $1,000 per contract traded. Price then pulled back to the BBC, which we expect to be good support till proven otherwise. That support took us up to red and falling, which we expect to be good resistance until proven otherwise. So right now, price is pinched between support and resistance. We'll find out soon enough who's more committed to their positions, the deep pocket buyers or the deep pocket sellers. If the sellers take us below the BBC and we get below this swing low, then we've got a nice window of opportunity that takes us right down. Come on. Takes us right down to the CTA. So let's call it 68.85 down to 60. So it's at 25 points, $250 per contract traded. And then you get to this long CTA, which most likely could become good support. Maybe we dip below it, make another run to the upside. And of course we have the short CTA, which has not triggered as of yet, down at 68.25. Okay. Next is gold. No trigger on the long side. On the short side, the CTA was 1793. From 1793, we dropped to 1783.1. So that's $990 per contract traded. Right there. That's what the market made available. And it looks like it wants to trigger again. Silver. Now, look how beautifully the zones, I mean, on the way up, we expect resistance. On the way down, we expect support. We've published these zones since December 14th of 2009. And they have served us so well for over a decade now. Weekly zones are, of course, for members only. Now, here we have, on a Wednesday, these were created Sunday night. They normally come out Monday morning. They were published Tuesday morning because of the Monday holiday. But here we are a couple days later, and they're doing their job. When price moves up, we expect resistance. When price moves down, we expect support until proven otherwise. So they're doing a great job. If you're one of our traders, make sure you've got these on your chart. And so the short trigger on silver last night was 24.18. Took us down 21 points, 21 pennies. 2 pennies is $100. And that brings us back around to the daily chart. Let me message Garrett real quick. See if he's ready. Let me look here in the audience again. Maybe I missed him. No. Yeah, I better call him. Okay, Garrett's having technical issues. He's on with customer support somewhere. He's got internet issues. And he wasn't able to text me because he was on the phone with the tech support person. So he's going to come Friday once he gets his issues sorted out. So again, real quick, all-time historic intraday high, all-time historic closing high. Resistance overhead is the high of the day. And then the step line. Support below us is the 24% fib, the low of the session, 44.92, then the daily BBC, 44.85. Those are the big picture. The larger the time frame, the more important the information it conveys. Remember, deep pockets are watching daily, weekly, and monthly charts, the same way you and I watch 30-minute, 5-minute, and range charts. Okay? And so when price hits a fib on a daily chart, always anticipate a reaction. It doesn't happen every time, but I can't remember a time when it didn't. So if we get back below the 24, we expect a nice bounce off the BBC. And if we actually get below the BBC, we expect a really nice move off of this 38, because you've got two swing highs here, two swing lows here. And that area could literally act as a magnet, just drawing price so that it can bounce it up. Okay, well, with all that said, it's time for our good word for the day. We talked about confession being good for the soul yesterday. Today we're going to talk about focusing on what's good. Philippians 4:8. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Let's face it, we don't have to look very far to find things to complain about, right? I mean, before we even get out of bed, we can find something to complain about. And often we do. And shame on us. We should fix that. God placed Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, where they had everything they needed to be happy. But what did they focus on? The one thing they could not have. God miraculously divided the Red Sea, guided the Israelites through the wilderness, and provided food from heaven every day so that they would never go hungry. And did they appreciate it? Yes, for a while. In Psalm 106:12, they sang his praise, but soon forgot what he had done. This is why Paul writes in Philippians 4:8, fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Then the God of peace will be with you. General Robbie Reisner described the 7 years he spent as a prisoner of war in a Vietnamese camp as the essence of despair. But he survived. How? He pried the cover off a floor drain in his cell and saw a solitary blade of grass, the only smidgen of color in his colorless world. Calling it a blood transfusion for the soul, Reisner began each day in prayer, lying on the floor, with his head down the vent, focusing on that single blade of grass. When things aren't going well in your life, you have to choose what you'll focus on. Fear or faith? Despair or hope? Problems or solutions? Even when the problem isn't solved to your liking, when you focus on God, He lifts you above your circumstances and gives you peace in the midst of your storm. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.